Is sex considered exercise? Because I haven't exercised in a while.
I would say that's a rest day.
And you get a protein shake too built in. What is the proper way to approach a gym crush?
You don't do it in the middle of their set.
So how much protein would you recommend to be a fit short king?
You know what we got? Because we are short.
Big penises?
How tall are you?
I'll never reveal it on camera.
Yeah.
All right, Happy Sunday, everyone, and welcome back to the Scaries podcast. I'm your host, Maddie Rossi, and we are back to hear your Sunday scary stories and do our best to help you through them. Today will be a little bit different because we are joined by two fitness experts, Miss Jamie Hines and Mr. Darren Battista, certified personal trainers and coaches of Battista Bootcamp. I've pulled all of your scaries that have to do with fitness, health, and wellness, and we're going to ask Jamie and Darren to give us their best advice and overall hope that helps you sweat off your scaries. So with that, we'll get into it. Just wanted to quickly remind everyone of the ground rules. All submissions are real submissions and are anonymous and are to stay anonymous. Number 2, this is a safe and inclusive space. No hate will be tolerated. And lastly, we are not trained medical professionals. They are trained licensed personal training, so they're legit. I'm not. But this podcast is just for entertainment purposes, and all of our advice should not be used in lieu of any actual medical advice. But I do have experts in the fitness world, so any of their advice, you guys are liable, but I'm not. Just kidding.
Hey, we'll take it. We'll take it.
So today we'll do our normal format of the rapid fire round followed by some scary story time. And then we'll end it with the return of a game that we had back in episode 2 called Most Likely Culprit. So when we get there, I'll explain it to you. But basically, we'll read some scaries and assign who of us is the most likely to have committed the crime.
Looking forward to it.
Great.
They're not all crimes. Actually, none of them are crimes. They're all legal. All right, with that, I got my scaries right here. And again, these are all real submissions and also some questions. So we've opened it up to in the past for users to submit some, personal questions around fitness or health or challenges. So if you might actually recognize Darren from some of my social media posts. Darren and Jamie are both some of my actual personal trainers and coaches. We partner on a lot of stuff around town. And have done some content together. So if you've seen Darren on my page, that's
him.
why.
At Battista Bootcamp, baby.
With the shirt on
At
right
Battista
now.
Bootcamp.
With the shirt on right now. You don't see this a lot.
No,
but
we
today
rarely.
You will see me keep the shirt on.
Thank
I
God.
promise.
See, I had to start partnering with Darren because one, I'm not a licensed personal trainer. So when you guys ask me for workouts, I don't want any of the liabilities because I don't know what I'm doing half
Smart.
the time out there. But the other reason is the second you put us in a gym, it's no longer a thirst trap. We're just working out. We're fitness influencers.
It's
See,
an
that's
excuse.
what I love about it.
You can't be thirst trapping
No.
if you're doing fitness.
No, you can't.
Second a drop of sweat gets onto my shirt, it's off. So
Yeah. So
that's-
and there's camera lighting. It's brand
100%.
concerns. You don't want any branding on it or
No.
That's the
Only
reason.
branding
Yeah.
is myself.
Yeah.
That's the brand.
All right. So the first question or submission that we have is, and we can take turns answering it, but I'll start with you, Darren. When did you start working out? Darren, we'll start with you.
I started working out probably towards middle to the end of middle school.
Wow.
So early, I would say. But we used to have performance programs in middle school towards the end, probably 7th, 8th grade. And I got into it, a bunch of my friends were heavily into it. I can't say that now.
Were you an athlete too, or were you one of, okay.
Yeah. So a bunch of us obviously were athletes growing up. We all leaned into the fitness thing pretty heavily, but obviously as time goes, people kind of fall off, drift away. But
yeah. What sports did you play?
I was basketball and baseball growing up through middle school, high school.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And so then you would do fitness to kind of cross train or help.
Yeah, there was always a season where we didn't have a sport. So that was the fall for me. And we would just be in the gym, which was great. So
cool.
About end of middle school, I'd say.
What is that, 12 years old?
12, 13. I don't
That's
know.
young.
That's
we had less data back then as to
Yeah.
what you should be doing. But
Right.
now we can help middle schoolers actually train in the right way.
Yeah. And
good.
did you know you wanted to like have a career in fitness, or like did you just continue? Like, did you play a sport in college?
So that's kind of the reason I started Battista Boot Camp, was I was going to play a sport in college. That was my plan. I ended up getting cut from the team that I tried out for. That's when I really leaned into fitness.
Mm-hmm.
So to answer your question, in middle school, when I was just working out mindlessly, no. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I had no idea when I entered college. However, once that rock bottom hit and I got cut from a team, I needed something else as an outlet. And that's what I found.
And did you study? So you studied, you'd majored in like, what would you do? Like kinesiology, or what is?
Yeah. So when I entered college, got cut, I ended up transferring.
Yeah.
I fell in love with the gym. So I transferred to Bridgewater State University. Shout out the Bears. And I studied exercise science.
Okay. Nice.
That was that. That's the story.
It's a great story.
Now we're here on the Scaries podcast.
I had a question. Oh, you mentioned getting cut. I got cut. I had a similar journey with sports, except my cut happened a lot earlier. I got cut from a lot. So I got cut from baseball in 6th grade.
Okay.
Which it basically, they let basically everyone on the team, apparently, except for me. I faked tendonitis and told everyone that I quit. They let me have that. And then I switched to lacrosse. I was better at lacrosse. And then senior year, there was just a lot of other better kids. And I didn't do any of the work. Like didn't do any off-season training.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was such a blessing, because like it was my senior spring. Like the last thing I actually wanted to be doing was playing a sport. Like we had prom, we had graduation, we were getting ready for college. So I knew I was always the most average player on the team. Like I would always win like most improved and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Aw, that's cute.
But like I was always a big fan of just being the average player.
Yeah.
100%.
So yeah.
You know what I loved about it though was the shift from being an athlete to the gym. Was it became you versus you, as opposed to you versus everybody else.
Yeah.
So even if you were the most average athlete on the team, the second that you got into a gym routine, it was always, how can you, Maddie Rossi, be better?
Yeah.
That's what I started to love about it. And now Jamie and I can share that in our journey with everyone that we cross paths with.
Yeah.
It's not about me versus Jamie, Jamie versus Maddie. It's about whoever the individual is against himself.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Because I also did do track in between, but I always treated track as just training for the other sports. But I was actually pretty good at track because it was more of an individual sport.
Yeah.
It wasn't as much of a team sport. Like I did like the 100-meter dash, hurdles, long jump, but I just didn't treat it as. I even forgot that I did it, because to me it was just a way to get in shape for lacrosse, because it wasn't the sexy sport, it wasn't the cool sport that everyone wanted to do. And I never thought that I would be the best on the team, so I never tried to. So I think that's such a good mentality, because once you do step in the gym and it's just you, it's so much more rewarding when you start
100%.
seeing progress in yourself, whether that's a 6-pack or whatever it is in arms.
Yeah.
But what about you, Jamie? How'd you get into things?
So I probably started working out like 8 years ago, just on my own. And I loved the gym. I always loved the gym. Sports, I did cheerleading and gymnastics my whole life.
Okay, I could see it.
So if you want to call that sports, I know some
It
people
is,
argue.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm going to stir up some debate on this podcast. Is cheerleading a sport?
I mean, it's more of a sport than like
Gymnastics,
track
it
is.
100% is.
No,
I mean, I think
it's
it
a sport.
translates directly to working out.
Yeah, I did gymnastics too when I was
You
little.
did?
I actually competed until I was 10, and
I love that.
I got like really far into it, but all of my instructors it got to a point where like they were all like these very mean like Russian
Yes,
people.
yes.
And I would just leave crying. I was like, I don't
Yeah.
want to do this. But I was like jacked at age 7, 8. No, like I had a 6-pack. My dad used
Yeah.
to like make me pull it up to show his friends.
Yeah. No, I didn't like that part of the gymnastics
Gets
stuff.
very
Like
competitive.
when I started doing like private training and stuff, I was like, it's too much. Like I was walking out of there crying, and
Yeah.
I was like, I'm all set with doing that.
Yeah.
So then it was more like high school gymnastics.
Yeah.
It's different. They're not forcing you into splits and
Yeah.
making you cry. And all
I'm
that.
convinced I would have gone to the Olympics if I stuck with it. But that's because how intense it was.
This guy was an athlete, everybody, just so we know.
No, I wasn't, but we'll get to that. Sorry, keep going.
So yeah, I always did like cheerleading, dance, gymnastics my whole entire life. And then started working out on my own. Actually, what drove me to start working out was my boyfriend at the time was a hockey player, and he was
Okay.
working out all the time. And I felt like he can't be better than me.
Yeah.
So I started going to the gym.
You should.
And
also, like, you want to show up to the gym with him. You don't want him.
No, we were on our own there.
No? Okay.
So that was that. That's where that came from. And then I fell in love with it. I worked out on my own. I did a lot of like group fitness classes, stuff like that. I actually went to school for dental hygiene. So I was a dental hygienist.
You have very nice teeth.
Thank you. I've been a dental hygienist for the last 7 years.
Okay.
And I'm now leaving for full-time fitness.
Congrats.
Yes. Darren.
Let's go.
Looked at me 6-7 months ago and was like, "You're going to quit your full-time job." And I was like, "No, I'm not." And then here we are.
That's so exciting. I mean, I think honestly, one of the reasons why, like, I think we've all connected was around a similar time that you guys were, doing Battista boot camp more seriously and scaling up, and you had left Equinox, you were leaving your job. I was leaving my corporate job. And I think when you go from maybe a more traditional established company or office, whatever you're in, and then you go into this world of entrepreneurship, you really have to find kind of the other people in it, because it can be very isolating and 100%. Lonely, and you kind of have to recreate that. And it's just like cool to be around people that hustle too and are motivated, and it keeps you motivated.
Everyone's motivated. Yeah. The difference I always tell people, like, because they're kind of like, why would you leave the dental world? It's like, it's more stability. Like, what's coming in every week, that type of thing. But industry wise, like the dental world, I felt like I was yelling at people all day, not raising my voice, but like yelling at people all day to want to be better. Yeah. Right. And then they'd come and see me 6 months and nothing has changed type of thing.
So then you went into fitness?
And then I went into fitness. No, it's not. No.
Same exact thing.
In fitness, people want to come to you because they want to be better originally. Like they want the help. They walk in happy to be there. They're excited to be there. They want to get something out of the workout. And then they're back the next week.
And you don't hear that.
No, all that.
Like, I feel like that probably scares people up.
Clean the teeth.
My body's like absolutely fucked from it. I'm trying to reverse all that from the last 7 years. But I think
in the same way, like you're right. Like fitness is a more approachable kind of personal hygiene, you could call it, or like taking care of yourself. Yeah. But a lot of people have that phobia of dentistry.
Yeah, people don't like.
I do floss every single day. I do too much. They say my gums are grafted, or I need to get grafted.
You're probably like scrubbing the shit out of your teeth.
Yeah.
But hey, flossing every day is really great.
That's my biggest flex. I don't bleed when I go to the dentist.
I would have loved you as a patient. You're the good patient, the one that comes in and I'm like happy to see every 6 months because you're doing the right stuff.
Yeah, I try.
But yeah, usually typical patients, it's just like annoying all the time. And then you just get more out of the fitness. It's more fulfilling.
Yeah. Totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah. Well, I'd say, I mean, just to hit quickly on mine, like I'd say I kind of snuck it in. I'd say I was the average athlete growing up. I did it to be included socially in things, whether it was like friends or just that's what everyone did. I never was except for when I was a kid in gymnastics, like super fit. That was the fittest I was. And then I always was a runner, like in track, like more of a natural runner, but I didn't see it at the time. And I think when I graduated, I didn't work out great. Like I went to college, I got really heavy. I was eating, I was drinking like shit. I never really took care of myself, but I would go on runs to kind of unplug. Like it was meditative. And that was how I like to do it. I also went through a stint of rock climbing in college my senior year, but that was, I got really, really good at it. But I also was super into weed at the time, so that's like why it was like you got
hard to do. Yeah.
Cancel out.
Yeah, you just sense. Like you get high and you climbed rocks. And I was a part-time student because I had like finished my credits early my senior year spring, so that was basically what I did. And then once I graduated, I moved to New York City. I'm like, everyone's fit, everyone's successful. I gotta get it together. And I'd say that's when I started consistently integrating it to like varying levels of success. I'd say I've struggled with like, what are the right exercises and what is the right diet for me and what is that balance of weightlifting and yes, I like to run, and I always wanted to run a marathon, and eventually I did, and now I'm about to run my third on Monday.
Oh,
Like,
I didn't know you were
congrats,
running on
brother.
Monday.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
exciting.
But like
I'll be there.
balancing that was kind of difficult, like just the three. So I'm really excited to kind of get into these questions today, because I think the big thing is, at least for me, it's like it really is different for everyone, and there's not a one size fits all approach to
100%.
like fitness, nutrition. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited to get into these and have your guys' advice, and I can add whatever perspective
Definitely.
I can.
I saw the kicks you got for the marathon too. They're dope.
Yeah, you like them?
Kirkland
Kirkland
picked
them.
them.
Yep.
The
Good
flames.
job.
I think
Good job, brother.
one was black and one was
He's
red,
like,
and
"Yeah,
I'm
I
pretty
know.
sure he's
Okay.
colorblind.
Yeah.
So
Me too.
So yeah, there you go.
We're
You
so
just
similar.
went for the red ones.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm just getting started at the gym, and I don't know what I'm doing. Please help. So what would you offer to someone who's just getting started at the gym?
Yeah, I think for the first week, 2 weeks, maybe even a month, it's just to show up and get acquainted with the gym. Whether that's just you show up, you get on the treadmill, and you literally watch what's going on, get a feel for the scene. I know showing up at a huge corporate gym, similar to what we have in the city, it can be very intimidating, especially with a lot of people coming in, a lot of fit people as well. If you're brand new to the gym, I get that intimidation factor. So I'd say the first 2 weeks or so, just go. Walk on the treadmill, get your body moving, watch what people are doing, just get a feel. But if you're really trying to get into lifting and you're a beginner and you're just trying to do it on your own, it's probably going to be tough. I mean, yeah, you could look on YouTube and watch these videos, but you're way better off just linking up with a coach and just getting your feet wet with that.
And a lot of these gyms will give you at least a free training session to
100%.
get you that, like, yeah, it's probably a sales tactic, but you can also, as someone that, isn't a personal trainer, like I've used them, they'll give you a program and then you can follow them and never use the trainer. I know that's like,
Yeah, I mean, whoever you had as a complimentary giving you a program for free,
Well, like,
I don't know, but that's
you know,
a conversation for a different podcast.
I'd say
guys.
like, don't let that intimidate you or stop you from using it. Like, use the resources that the gym's giving you,
for sure.
and don't feel like you're locked into anything. Like, do whatever's sustainable. And sometimes that looks like, they give you a program or something to do, and then after, every 2 months you do one with them again, and you kind of reevaluate. I'd say don't be afraid to use the resources of the gym.
I'll just piggyback on that. I also feel like there's a lot of gym anxiety at first, like going in thinking like everyone's looking at you because you're brand new there, but like
No one's paying attention to
no
you.
one gives a fuck if you're new to the gym. Everyone's worried about themselves there. Everyone's just looking at their own self. Like no one's looking around, so like don't worry about it. Just you need to like I don't give a fuck mentality, and that's it.
Yeah. I'd also say like start at a beginner gym. Like go to the
Planet Fitness.
The Planet Fitness. Like go to the low commitment, not expensive thing. Go where there's maybe people that, fitness is not as much of a priority. They're just kind of stepping into it, and work your way up into more of an advanced. Like
Definitely.
Don't join the Equinox, the Lifetime, the most advanced, like aesthetic, expensive gym right off the bat, because that will actually probably make you intimidated, work your way up there.
Agreed.
Or if like you live in a building that has a gym, or your office has a gym, like what are those little more intimate gyms that just get you in and get you in the routine?
Yep.
Or go with someone that's on the same level as you as well.
Yeah.
Do it together. If
A
you don't feel
friend.
like you want to do it alone yet, then do it with someone else that's in the same boat. Or even if they're not in the same boat, but they can help you and they care about you, it's probably a good place to start.
Or a class. Classes, I feel like, are very non-intimidating.
It's a good place to start.
Like take a Battista boot camp. I'm sure you'll be good.
There you go. I will say, like, I am impressed by the range of like ability in a Battista boot camp. Like, I think that it really is a very, like, it's not like certain workout classes where it's a really high barrier to fitness entry. Like,
it's only as hard as you make it.
Exactly.
Like if you want to pick up the 5-pound dumbbell, fine, pick up the 5-pound dumbbell. Like,
and
no
I'm
one's
not just
forcing you.
blowing smoke up your ass, but like really, like there are
Yes.
people of all fitness levels, and I think there's ways to kind of adapt it. So I think you've done a good job, like creating an approachable environment with it that you don't see everywhere.
For sure.
Cool. All right, as the next one, and this one I feel like is aimed towards me. As a fellow short king, how much protein should I consume?
So I can join in on the short king conversation. I think I'm right on like the cusp there. I think I'm 5'10". Some people say 5'9", but that's
I'll never reveal it on camera.
Are you a short king?
I am. I identify. So it is actually one of the most heated debates that you'll see.
Oh.
Is I'm either not tall enough to not be a short king, but I'm too tall to not be a short or to be a short king. And I've have like he's a fake short king accusations. It's like I lied on my license. Like that's a short king.
Wait, you can tell them your height?
Yeah, you can make up a height at the
Did
IMT.
I do that?
Yeah. Well, which shoes? Like I'll give you a range. I'm between.
Wait, can you just say it and like bleep it out for me? Come on.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
We can keep it in and bleep it.
Yeah.
I grew up, but I've had bad posture, so I think I shrunk back down to. But on my license, it says I'm.
There's no shame.
We could
in
like
that.
get you guys like standing up right now to take a peek and see if Darren's actually if you know you're.
Maybe we'll save it for the end.
Okay.
'Cause
Yeah,
they
I
might
would
be able
love
to
that.
call me.
because if I'm taller
But-
than you, I'm wearing to the grave. To the grave.
I think we're pretty similar height.
Yeah, we might be.
I think we are.
But my pompadour gives me a little bit.
That's true. That's why I have a fluff
100%.
too.
I
Wow.
wear this hair high for a reason.
Sheesh.
Everybody.
So
How
yeah,
men
so
do
I've
that.
always been the shortest one in my friend group. I've had, people I've dated tell me I'm short, like, or you're not tall, you're not short, you're just not tall. That's kind of where I live. And you know what? I'm here to.
I'm gonna go with being short though, so I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
I think you will
I think it is
be
short.
a short king.
Like,
Yeah.
I think if you're not in Boston, Boston's a city of short kings. So
Yeah.
here, it's a lot more average. When I go to Texas, I went to school in the Midwest in Michigan. Those guys are corn fed. They are fucking huge. Like
Yeah.
6 foot is the short king
Yeah, you're, like,
in
staring up.
Texas.
You
in
know
the
what we
Midwest.
got? Because we are short,
What?
we have the ability to use
Big penises.
Oh my
I mean, that's not what I was gonna say. But we need to use
gotta go
our
somewhere.
personality to our advantage. Where these tall guys, they think they can just walk
It's
in a
so
room,
true.
duck under the door,
Yeah.
and think they got it like
No,
that.
they're
But let
brain
me tell
dead
you,
because they keep hitting their head at the top of the door.
Exactly.
You know what else we
I'll
have an
beat you.
advantage in?
we got.
Airplanes. We don't have to upgrade to Comfort Plus or extra
Exactly.
legroom.
Even though I do,
I still do, you know,
Why
and that's a
not?
flex.
because why not? I'm gonna kill you with personality every damn time. But we're talking about protein, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what we do as short kings have to do is you gotta, I feel like, get in the gym more. Like that's how you level the
100%.
playing field. So how much protein would you recommend to kind of be a fit short king?
Yeah, and being a short king has nothing to do with how much protein you should be consuming. It's about your body weight. So we typically tell our clients like 0.8 to 1 times your body weight in grams daily.
Excuse you.
Okay.
Daily. I'll repeat that one more time. Daily.
How much is that? So like put that at how many
So
like eggs?
if you were to
is that?
weigh
Just
150
eggs.
pounds,
Yeah.
right? 80% to 100% of that in grams. So the top end being 150 grams
Yeah.
per day. What's 80% of 150? Let's do some math, guys.
I couldn't. Never. I couldn't.
I probably used a tough number, but if you were 100 pounds,
Yeah.
say
it would
like
be 80
135.
to 100 grams,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
To give you some easy math, but
Yeah. Okay.
and that's daily. No
That
matter
sounds
what
good.
you do.
So I'm not someone that can measure my food like or track calories because I feel like it creates an unhealthy kind of relationship with food.
Fair.
But what I try and do is just eat a majority of protein. So like if in every meal I'm having half of the plate be protein, maybe 1/4 of that be a carb and the other quarter be like a green
Yeah.
or something like that. And then like fats are just like naturally kind of integrated. I try not to like intentionally eat anything with fat. Or, eggs in the morning and drink a ton of protein shakes. So like I think just prioritize protein. Like don't have a plate of pasta and call that dinner if there's not at least chicken or sausage or something else in it.
Agreed.
Have you heard of the 50-30 fuck it rule?
No. Is that it?
I'm going to tell you right now.
Okay.
50-30 fuck it rule. 50% of your plate being like leafy greens, vegetables to keep you full.
Yeah.
30% of your plate being your protein source. 20%, fuck it. Eat whatever you want.
Yeah. I love that.
You like that? That's
Yeah. I'm a big
sustainable.
condiment guy. I love condiments. So like
Mustard, brother.
I've seen
Get
mustard.
hip to
I've
the
seen
mustard.
mustard.
Get hip to it.
I
Zero
like
cows.
mustard. I like everything. I don't discriminate. But to me, like it's just a vessel to the condiment. So I'll just get 90% of my meals are just a chicken breast. I get a pre-cooked one from Wegmans. They have the chicken breast just dipped in a different condiment, and that's what I eat most nights.
There you go.
I think quickly to piggyback on the you saying tracking creates an unhealthy relationship with food. I disagree a little bit.
Okay.
Because I think that you should know what's going into your body.
Yeah.
I think that people that say that it creates an unhealthy relationship with food are
Yeah.
lazy and don't want to do it.
Ooh, that is true. I hate logging it.
There it is.
I agree. It's so tedious, but like how do we not know what's going into our body?
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of crazy when you think about it too.
Yeah.
Like, you have no idea. You're tracking your protein fine, but like, you have no idea what's in
Yeah.
that stuff. Like, if you just do MyFitnessPal for like, and don't pay attention to MyFitnessPal's recommendations because they're always wrong, but log it for a week
Yeah.
and you'll be like dumbfounded about like
Yeah.
what you've been putting into your body.
I think that's fair. I will say I am lazy. I hate logging it. It is like I'm spend enough time on my phone that the last thing I want to do is every time I eat. So like what I do is I'll try and create meals that I just know what they are and repeat them. I
Yeah.
think what I found myself doing with MyFitnessPal was seeing, okay, this is your goal, and then being like, fine, I'll get like 500 calories under it, and like I just kept
Yes,
moving that
that's
goalpost
unhealthy.
in
100%.
in being like, oh, like I won't eat this thing or I won't drink this
Yeah.
thing because now I'll get even further
Right.
below.
Yeah.
Like I saw it as a goal to beat,
right.
not like what I should hit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that's what
Exactly.
created the unhealthy
Exactly.
piece.
That's where
And
coach
that's like
comes in.
exactly.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that's what we do a lot with our online clients is we are making them hit the goals. We want them to hit the goals. We want them to actually go past some of the goals.
Yeah.
Like we'd rather you surpass it than like be under it. If
Yeah.
you are having like a hard training program in the gym, like you want to be eating to fuel your body
Yeah.
for that training program.
100%.
So like hitting macro goals versus like trying to stay under in calories
Yeah.
is like the mindset shift that we want
Yeah,
for
definitely.
clients.
And I've also found that was one of the biggest awakenings I've had is eating more is actually oftentimes
Yes.
better.
Yes, exactly.
Not eating less. I found myself
True.
lower energy, able to lift less at a
Mhm.
gym,
Yeah.
run less far when I
Endurance,
eat,
yep.
but and then building more. Like you got to replace it with something. Someone said
Correct.
it's like you wouldn't fill your car or like not fill up your car with gas and then drive across the country.
Yeah.
So why the
For
hell
sure.
would you do that?
I love that.
So,
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
That's great.
do you take cheat days? If so, how many do you take a month?
Great one.
Yeah.
Great question. Start it off, Jamie. I'll tap in after.
I made a little like reel about this before that was like why you shouldn't have cheat meals. Not to say that you shouldn't have like bad food, but like when you're saying I'm having a cheat meal, now you're labeling stuff as like good and bad. And
Okay.
that's when we start to get into like the unhealthy thing with food.
Yeah.
I think that if you are, like we said, eating to fuel your body, then you'll have no problems with like having a sweet treat at the end of the night and like
Yeah.
not having to call that a cheat meal, right?
Yeah.
What people do is they'll be like, I can't wait to have my cheat meal Friday. They'll restrict all week, right? And
Yeah.
then Friday comes, they're going out to eat with their friends, and now they're having a cheat meal and they're having a 1,500 calorie meal
Yeah, it
right then and
almost
there. They don't
ruins
eat all
everything.
day for that, and then like their body's like so confused. They're like, what did we just do? All week we ate this, and then now what am I supposed to do with
Yeah.
this stuff that you just put in my
Yeah.
body? So I think that having the mindset of just like fueling for your body and not having to cheat on it is something we all need to adopt.
Yeah. 100%. I like
It's an
that.
all-encompassing approach too. It doesn't have to be so black and white. It's like live in the gray area with your nutrition as well. You can make all things work.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're taking care of what you need to take care of, especially on the protein front earlier
Right.
in the day, you have room for things that maybe aren't as dense in protein.
Yeah.
But if you have some calories left, right, and you have room for that and you've done what you needed to do earlier in the day, then you can be more flexible with those things.
Yeah. Makes sense. Okay. I have maybe a terrible strategy, but I'm going to share it.
Go
You
ahead.
guys might
Here
be
we
like,
go.
this is
Rip it.
awful.
Here
So
we
don't
go.
do it. I eat whatever I want on the weekends and I try and be great Monday through Friday. And that means high protein meals, balance. Like I'll have a sweet, like if I have a sweet treat at the end of the night, I'll have a high protein yogurt with some fruit
Okay, that's good.
Love that.
and
Yeah.
or like a protein shake. And on the weekends, it's not like I seek out the cheat meal, but it's like when I'm going out to a restaurant, I don't want to have to be sticking to a certain
100%.
meal, and I want to eat the bread
Yeah.
on the table with the
Yeah.
butter,
You
and I
can.
want to go to McDonald's and get that late
Yeah.
night, like so.
I will.
All right.
I don't think
There
that
you go.
that's a bad approach. I think that I'm the same way. That during the week I do great the entire time, but because I do great in the week, I have like no worries about how I'm gonna treat like when I go out to dinner with friends, right?
Yeah.
Like I will have that dinner because I don't mind. I just did the whole week great. Like there's no problems with that. But on the contrary, like doing the whole week perfectly,
And then swapping, like
and
you
then
said.
yeah, and then
So I
like
still seek to like, hey, if I can just eat healthy, I will. But it's
Yeah.
more like, okay, now I went out and I had a few drinks
Right.
and I want a slice
yeah.
of pizza.
I mean, you look great. It's working for you.
Thank
I
you.
will say, like, men sometimes just have it easier than women. Girls
True.
probably
Hey,
can't do the same
I'm an
thing.
ally to women.
Maddie, she's teaming up on
It's
us
not
already.
fair.
What I say though, like, especially with that whole weekend mentality of like falling off the deep end, you need to look at this as like a numbers game too. It is
Yeah.
math in the end of the
Right.
day. If you are trying to lose 1 pound a week and you are not in a deficit that's going to give you that,
Yeah.
what is that because? It's because you're not doing what you need to do on the weekend to
Right.
maintain that
Yeah.
deficit.
I also think though that you can go through periods of time where you're doing that and then just maintaining. So I think the hardest part is when you're in like a rapid weight loss
Yeah.
kind of time.
Well, you know why you're maintaining though is because you're not actually tracking correctly on the weekends, which is causing you to maintain.
Well, I mean, like, say you want to say if I'm like, I want to lose 50 pounds and then I want to stay there. Like
Yeah.
that losing 50 pounds, you're going to be in a period of time where you are cutting more and being more conscious. But then once you get to that, like, point,
Correct.
it's
You
more
would build
just like,
yourself back up to a maintenance level slowly.
exactly. Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
slowly.
You don't just jump right back to where you
100%.
were.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Or you put that weight back
Right.
on.
No, it's
that's
new routine.
That's
Yeah.
what we work on with our clients is we get you to the goal and then we need to reintroduce calories slowly
Yeah.
in a progressive way. So you don't just throw a bunch of weight back on
Yeah.
because, oh yeah, now I can eat 500 more calories
Right.
in a day. It's not how it works.
And
with
for
the
me,
body.
that looks like a 2 cheeseburger meal
Exactly.
with
Well-
a McChicken.
Yeah.
Well,
on a
it's also
Saturday
like,
night.
so say like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? You're eating whatever you want, and then Monday through Thursday, you're great. So that's like 3 days out of the week. So 3 times for 4 weeks straight is a month, right?
Yeah.
So that's 12 days of the
Yeah.
month. That's almost 2 weeks of the month that you've just fucked your diet.
Yeah.
So like,
I'm not perfect.
Now
so
we're
like,
rethinking.
now
We're
you're like,
rethinking your party tomorrow
oh,
night.
Wow. Okay,
Ross.
that's 2 weeks of the whole month. And that's imagine if you did that for a whole year.
Yeah.
Where would you be?
That's true.
Right?
But
Yeah,
I
what's
love
that? What's
McDonald's.
that math look like?
But I'm loving it.
12 days a month times 12 is that 144?
Yeah, no, I think it's all about like balance. Have more good days than bad days.
Yes,
The more you
you're
can
right.
maximize the good days,
There you
the
go.
more you can minimize the bad days,
Good.
the more
80-20.
results you're going to see.
Good.
80-20.
So how do you deal with plateauing? It feels like I've struggled to make gains lately.
You could take
Yeah.
that one, Darren.
That's a good question because especially like with a lot of the guys that I work with, they think that everything is so linear when it comes to progress. But the learning phase is something that's huge for people. So like we were just talking about with the calorie game,
Mm-hmm.
people think they join up like on a program, they're going to lose weight right away. It's like you need to give your body time to actually figure out what the hell's going on, especially if you've been under eating and we're trying to introduce more calories, or if you've been crazy overeating
Yeah.
and we're trying to periodically drop your calories. So I'd say if you're plateauing but you're somewhat new to a consistent routine, you need to take a deep breath, number one, and stick to the game plan. If you work with a coach, stick to whatever game plan they have for you. If you're plateauing because you've been training for a long time and all of a sudden you're not seeing more results,
Yep.
I think if it comes down to diet, you need to change something up there. So I like to do diet breaks sometimes, which is you essentially, if you have somebody in a deficit, you have them eating less, reintroduce a little bit more to their diet again. Give them like 1 to 2 weeks off from that diet, and then we can go back to dieting. Just
Yeah.
give your body a second to breathe and be like, okay, I'm fine. And then we can reintroduce a diet. I think in terms of strength training or working out, you probably just need to change your routine up and do something new. If you've been doing the same thing in the
Just
gym
going through the motions.
Right.
Which I
months
love
after
doing.
months and you're not progressing yourself, you're not going to make progress.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of? I've actually never asked you about this, but like deload weeks.
Deload, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a thing.
I like the sound of
sometimes-
that.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
But I'm like, I feel like I've seen. I actually don't know the answer to it, but like online that if you are hitting a plateau or something, and then you need a deload week and like
Yeah.
lighter weight, same type of whatever exercise you were doing, but lighter weight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a decrease in volume
Right.
and decrease in load sometimes that your body needs. It just needs a week to really recover so we can approach a peak again down the road. So sometimes we're just hammering away at our body, trying to lift crazy heavy.
Right.
Like that, I used to do this in like high school. I used to go in every Thursday and I would try to deadlift as heavy as I possibly
Yeah.
could. And then I was like, why aren't I
I
getting
try to do that.
stronger?
Your ego comes in.
100%. But you
Ego
need to
lifting.
like spend a week. I would say every 4 to 8 weeks, giving yourself a little bit of a deload where you drop weight, you work on quality of form, and you take that volume down
Yeah.
a ton.
I think that's where classes have come in handy with me is because they tend to be like certain classes, little lower weight, higher rep, a
Right.
little bit more like time
Yeah.
under tension or whatever it is.
Depending on the goal, right?
Yeah.
I mean, classes aren't going to move the needle for you in terms of body composition, building strength. But I think if you're really trying to maximize strength gains, a deload in the gym would be your best
Yeah.
bet. Like a structured approach within your training, as opposed to looking at a group fitness class as, oh, this is my deload for the
Yeah.
week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like that. Cool. I have some running related ones because a lot of my,
Running people.
followers are runners. So one would be, how do you get back into the gym after running, like into strength training? And then I'll read the next one after. We'll answer that one first.
Just because I'm working with a couple marathon runners, including you, obviously, take a fucking break after, all right? Take a week or so to just, I'd say, long walks for 3 to 4 days. I got some of my clients are like, so what are we doing in the gym like Tuesday? I'm like, you're not gonna,
I am not
you're not
working
gonna
out
lift
this
on
week.
Tuesday. You're running 26 miles on Monday. We got to acknowledge that. But I think in terms of like how we progress back when you do come into the gym, I think you start off with a little bit lower volume. So maybe
Yeah.
you do like 2 to 3 days that first full week that you're back. Just do a couple full body days. Don't push crazy on weights or sets.
Yeah.
Just kind of get back in and get your body moving.
This is the hardest part, I'd say, of the marathon, is not working out like the week before. I go on like a few, shakeout runs
Yeah.
and like the carb loading, but you're eating so much and you're not working out. And it's like the body dysmorphia hits.
Yeah.
You're just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I am a glut. And then after, you can't really work out either.
Wait, what are you
Um,
eating? I want to know. Tell me.
I'm like just starting it now. So I
Oh,
try
okay.
and hit like 400 to 600, grams of carb a
carbs.
day,
Okay.
which is
Wow.
in
Yeah.
itself like
Yep.
2,000 calories.
Yeah.
Your
So,
energy must be
my God.
through the
yeah, I
roof.
haven't started. So what days? I'll probably start to like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is
Yep.
typically. So it's a lot.
And then can you not lift?
It's
Is
like
that
juice. Yeah, I mean, it's
Okay.
just like reducing injury,
Yeah,
kind
okay.
of building up. For me,
Soreness and
less
stuff
is
too.
more. I
Yeah.
found like overall, I haven't been as great with training as I was in the past marathon, but I found that my body was just under a lot more strain under a more traditional program. Like
Yeah.
I am generally pretty active and fit and like kind of like a natural runner.
Yep.
So to me, I've always found that less is more. I'm still hitting the key runs and I did all my milestone
Yeah,
runs and I'm
yeah.
preparing accordingly, but I focus a little bit more on the cross training, the yoga, the stretching,
Okay,
like
nice,
especially kind of
nice.
right now. So this is crazy, but then this one is, I ran the LA marathon in under 4 hours and I'm currently on a red eye to New York City to present at work tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Oof.
That sounds
It sounds shitty.
Sitting on a
an
plane
awful
like that
day.
is after running.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of things going. You have no sleep,
Yeah.
post-marathon, and an impressive run. Congrats on the sub 4.
Yeah, that is unreal.
And then something with, I'm not a doctor, but like pressure on the plane, that's got to be impacting things. And then presenting at 9 a.m. Like that should be illegal to have
Yeah.
any
You
meetings
should
at
talk
9
to your
a.m.
job and say, hey, I need a day.
Yeah, like let them know. Like I compare like a marathon to a sick day or a vacation day.
100%,
Like you
yeah.
get 1 to 2 buffer days.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Be like, I can't walk, so
Yeah.
I actually can't do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should have been planned ahead of time.
Yeah, I would have probably taken the day off. But also like marathoners, I like this. They're like,
Yeah.
we're crazy. Like you
Was that
run
a question
marathons.
or a statement?
It was more of a reason why they have a scary. So these are
Oh,
scary.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
they have.
I was like, did he just write in to tell
No,
you?
no,
he was
no.
doing
It was like a humble brag. No,
Okay.
like
Yeah, right.
marathoners are crazy. They're like, you know what? Instead of going to therapy, I'm gonna run 26 miles.
that? Yeah, then I'll kill my
And
presentation.
it works. Yeah.
But then he can walk into the presentation and be like, sorry, guys, just ran a marathon.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. I mean, you're gonna kill that presentation whether
Yeah.
you do it well or not.
don't mind me if I'm limping, you know?
Okay, how do I not feel guilty on rest days, particularly when rotting on a Sunday?
I love
Mm.
that. I think you should look at rest days as part of the journey towards the physique or goal because you need them. That's essential to your progress to let your body actually recover properly. So I think once I change, I'm not really a good example of this because I like to not rest as well. Jamie
I
will say
hate
that.
rest days.
Yeah,
I
rest
hate
days
them.
suck. But they are necessary. So they do contribute to you actually moving the needle with your progress. I'm sure Jamie's smiling. I know she has
well,
some more to say.
when's the last time you rested?
I mean, like we have active recovery.
Yeah, you can do active.
days,
Like a
you know?
yoga
Okay.
can be a rest day.
Tell me what one of your active recovery days look like.
Yeah, so like a Sunday for me is a lower intensity, like 20 to 30-minute workout.
Yeah,
you know?
that's. I mean, you got to think it's relative to your ability level.
100%. Exactly. Like I'm not a good example to tell the crowd
Yeah.
because that's not
But like a Sunday walk, or
I rest. Yeah, I
a
do like
yoga.
walks. Yeah,
Sweat
walking
house.
is great.
Yeah,
cold
They should.
plunging.
They should.
I
I mean,
still like
rotting
to
on the
sweat.
couch, not ideal, but
Yeah.
take a walk. If you're hungover, then take your time. But
10
taking a walk,
body weight
moving your
squats
body.
every time you get up to go to the fridge. Boom.
That would make me sick if I was hungover.
I say like too, like when you take a rest day, take a rest day. Don't work to make up for it. Don't,
Right.
like do,
Right.
like take a true mental and physical
yeah, like
rest
don't
day.
think about it too much.
Yeah,
Pick it back up the next day.
like, sit in bed, watch Netflix, like if you need to. That's
Your muscles need it. Your
Yeah.
muscles 100% need the recovery.
But it gets a lot easier when you're not drinking. Like to me, like a great Sunday when I didn't go out on a
Yes.
Friday and Saturday night is getting to do a low intensity workout class, like yoga class,
Mm-hmm.
having a healthy lunch, making a smoothie, cleaning my apartment. Like that is my favorite
100%.
rest
Yeah.
day
Mm-hmm.
because it's like setting up for the week ahead and
Right.
Yeah.
getting ahead.
I agree.
Also, if you put rest day on your calendar as something to like check the box, make it an activity. Like the rest day is your goal for that day. You're
Yeah.
still checking the box on something that you had planned.
Yeah.
I think in terms of mindset, that helps me
Yeah.
on a mental standpoint
Yeah.
as well.
Makes sense. All right, the next one is sex considered exercise? Because I haven't exercised in a while.
You burn calories, right?
I have heard that you burn calories, but I don't know. Is it considered a what? Workout or a
Work
rest
and
day?
exercise.
Oh, I would say that's a rest day.
My Whoop tracks it.
That's active recovery.
Active
guys.
recovery.
Active recovery, and you get a protein shake too built in.
Wow.
I was like thinking about it for a second. I'm like, who's having protein shakes after?
very, very high in protein. I've
Yeah.
heard. I don't know.
Yeah, not a workout, but active recovery, I'd
Yeah.
say.
Okay.
Good for the mental.
How do you avoid stress eating?
Mm.
When I'm stressed, I don't eat. Like I
you're,
think
like,
that's
sick.
like
You're,
yeah,
like,
like I
nauseous.
just I'm
Yeah.
so like I have to get it done, and then 4 hours later I'm like, you know what, I'm dizzy.
Yeah,
And
right.
then I have to, like,
Right, because
eat
you get so
something.
busy and like,
Yeah, and you're
I
just
know.
doing things, and I'm so like I'll maybe drink a coffee and have just like a small breakfast, and then like not realize that it's now 3:00 and I've missed lunch.
Yeah.
I would say, I feel like stress eating would come more from like restricting yourself too much to then you get to
Okay.
a point where you're like, I need food and I'm
Yeah.
like taking whatever I have in front of me
Yeah.
and it's all like processed snacks and things like that. But like if you're satiating yourself throughout the day, the whole time, like you're eating your breakfast, you're eating your lunch, you're eating your dinner, like
He's like, did
What-
someone
what-
say lunch?
what is
Kirkland's
the-
perked up.
Where's my
Are
food?
you hungry?
He's always hungry.
Is he?
Kirkland's like, I stress eat.
He does have like quite a little belly
not
going
stress
on here.
eat. Yeah, that's because my dad sneaks him food. I'm like, how have you gained 5 pounds
Right.
in the past 3
He's
months?
Like,
well
aren't
fed.
you? I heard that you're like
Yeah.
supposed to see dogs' ribs. Like you're supposed to be able to like
I don't
feel and
know.
see
Like
them.
he's just,
It's okay.
you know what, whatever makes him.
He
happy.
looks
Summer's
great.
He's
coming,
here for
Rossi.
a
He looks
good
great
time.
like
you gotta
that.
shred him up a little bit.
Yeah,
He
From
needs
a
to go through a
deficit.
cut. Yeah.
yeah, we'll get him on a cut.
There you go.
He's
No,
coming to boot
He's
camp.
absolutely perfect. Wait, he would do
Well.
great at boot camp.
I mean, he's got little legs, so like we
No,
got
he's not
we
gonna
got
like do the exercises.
Oh.
No, he would just run around.
He just
you
like
know?
chill and
Oh,
watch.
okay, yeah.
Like
you
I feel like
can
he's so
come.
chill.
I'll bring him sometime. He is, yeah.
He'd be
He's
the sponsored
great.
mascot
He's
at
awesome.
Battista boot camp.
But yeah, I think also with stress eating though, you're kind of searching, so they can say that food releases dopamine, and there are other sources of dopamine too. And maybe I'm wrong with it. So like, if your go-to is food to release dopamine, like I don't know, get addicted to social media. I don't. That's
Or
not
to
any
working
better.
out.
But yeah, working out,
Working out will
like
do
find
that.
another
Here's
source of
good
dopamine.
dopamine.
Absolutely.
Train, move your body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, the next segment is what do we call stories? Scary story time. So that was our rapid fire round, a little bit tweaked more to our fitness questions. So hopefully that was helpful. This is where it might get a little bit juicier because I'm going to ask you guys a little bit more personal questions.
Okay.
But
Let's
feel
like
free
keep
to.
in mind that I have a boyfriend. Just
I
in
know they're
case.
not that
Okay.
bad. Okay. What do you think I am? No, they could be that bad.
Yeah.
No, it won't be anything crazy, and you don't have to share anything that you're not comfortable
Okay.
sharing.
Thanks,
But
Maddie.
this person said, whenever I'm at the gym, I fall in love with someone new. Do I approach them? So my question on this is, what is the proper way to approach a gym crush as two people that are very familiar with the space?
I can go first because I've seen this done very poorly, and I've seen it done
By
okay.
you?
By myself in the right way, by someone else in the wrong way. But like working at Equinox, I obviously saw a ton of that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and Equinox, everyone's hot.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good-looking people there, so I think it's an inviting place to have those feelings that they're describing. I think that the natural way to do it is if you do want to approach someone at the gym, you should just go up and say, "Hey, I see you here every day. I just want to introduce myself. My name is so and so."
When do you do it? In the middle of their workout or after the workout?
I mean, I think that you don't do it in the middle of their set.
In the
You
middle of
don't
their
wait
set.
until they're on rep 5 out of
You
10
don't
on
ask
the
them if they
on the
need a
bench.
spot and then ask them
No, I
for
mean,
their
No,
number.
no.
I
Don't
think
do
like
that.
you can strategically play it. Like when they finish a set, maybe that's when you go up to them, or if they're putting some dumbbells away. But definitely not middle of the set. Interrupt them. Now they gotta take the headphone off, and it's all
Yeah.
awkward.
Yeah.
But I've seen it done poorly, and
Yeah.
it blows up in people's face. But I think you should.
Well, it's like poorly when they're on the leg machine and they're like squatting over and you sneak
Yeah.
up behind them in their
just
butt.
middle
and
of
you're
the
just
set.
like,
It's not natural and smooth.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta pick your pockets there.
yeah.
But I think you should ultimately, if you are interested in someone at the gym, there's no shame in going up and at least introducing yourself
Yeah.
and saying, "Hey, I see you every day. Just want to let you know, like,
Yeah,
I'm
I like
here.
that.
I'm so and so."
I like that.
From a
I
girl's
think like
perspective.
I think that's great.
Oh,
And
here we go.
No. I'm not just going to disagree. But I feel like you know if someone's going to be receptive or not. If you've been like seeing them in the gym all the time
Like
and
the
you
eyes.
have they made eye contact with you once at
Yeah.
all? Like have they not looked up ever? Have
Yeah.
they like
Eye
seen
contact
you know, like
will give you all the answers. you
exactly.
need.
I think that if you know that they've also seen you, then like that's a good call to go over and do it. But
Yeah.
like if you're like staring at a girl that's never looked up
Yeah.
once and like maybe leave her alone.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree.
I like that.
I have a unique take, I think, on
Call it
it.
the 5 eye contact rule.
What's that? 5 times?
5 eye contacts, go up for the kill. On the
5.
sixth.
I'd be done after 2.
Well,
Like look
that's-
at my general direction twice.
You got to slow play it, guys.
But I actually don't want to be approached at the gym. I have never approached someone at the gym. It's just like I'm there, I'm sweaty, like I'm working out, like sure, like eye candy, look around, like, but to me, I've had people come up in the middle of the sets. It's just like a little annoying. It's a little uncomfortable. I think what is the way to do it is like if you see someone at the gym and then I always like, I mean, Boston's small, so this might be more niche. If you see them out being like, hey, you go to my gym, right? Like see them at the bar and do it like
Yeah.
in more of
I like that. Mhm.
a connection space. Because now you have the shared interest. This also wouldn't go to say like a run club. I think run club has an inherent like I want to meet people tone to it. I think that's why they've gotten so big. But I'm talking about specifically at the gym that I'm at every single day.
Yeah.
Even like at a yoga class, when a yoga class ends, that's a fine time to talk to someone. I just at the gym, that's almost like my sanctuary. So if it does get awkward and you ask me out, I ask you out, and it doesn't work out or
Then
you hook
what?
up. Now you're going to
Yeah,
this thing every
right.
single day, and now I have to
Right.
change my gym time. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of just
I get that.
That's
Uh,
also I would say like I feel like boys, not girls, but guys would like see girls at the gym and then find them on social media and then follow them and then it's awkward.
that's creepy.
Then it's
That's
awkward.
just- yeah.
Like,
Or,
what
slide
is-
in the DM maybe, but don't bring the gym into it. Just pretend like you found them on the.
Yeah, but like they're
Yeah.
the girl's gonna
Yeah,
know you found
I
her
know.
from the gym, right? If she sees you at Equinox every day and then now she has to walk into Equinox and be like, he followed me on
Yeah.
Instagram, this is awkward, now what?
It's
like
just creepy.
yeah.
Yeah. So
It's all in the way you do it, fellas.
I agree, but I do like your approach if you're going to do it. Mine's just personal preference, and I know that some people go to the gym looking for that. So that's just me. But all right, this one is I hooked up with my trainer, and they ghosted me.
Oof.
Darren, I feel like you could take that one.
Yeah, have you
Oof.
ever hooked up with a client or ghosted a client?
Me personally, I don't do that. I think that's just a bad representation of a business.
Yeah.
Especially being a solo business,
Yeah,
your own person, can't be doing that.
Yeah.
But I've seen it firsthand. It never goes well, and it always blows up. So
yeah.
it's but that's a thing in the fitness
It's
industry.
definitely a fantasy. I think that's such a unique, like an interesting way to put it, is because like it is a business. It's the same thing as
Any job.
hooking up with
Right.
coworkers. Though I will say, in doing this, there are a lot of people that work together that are hooking up.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
and I don't think you should feel bad about it, because if you think about it, like you're spending 40 hours every week in a place, like you're gonna develop relationships with someone. So But I agree, it's always a stickier situation, and you should think of this in the same way as you would like hooking up in the workplace.
Yeah.
That being said, this is a lot hotter, a lot sexier, a lot sweatier, so it's inherently a little bit more susceptible to it, and it also is a little bit of a fantasy.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to
Keep it a
be an
fantasy.
instructor.
Because what if they train 12 times a month
Right,
and
then
then
what?
you lose that income because something goes wrong?
Right.
Yeah.
That's how I think of it as a trainer. I'm like, well,
Yeah, like a direct client that
12 to 16 times a month. And now I'm losing X dollars. So
hey, time is money, and
100%.
it's not worth it.
No.
Be smarter, guys. Be smarter.
I have hooked up with a trainer, but not a personal.
But like, it's fine, I guess, on your end. But
Yeah, I
think
guess
the
it's
trainer's end,
easier.
I think
Yeah.
like they should not be doing that.
Yeah. Also, like, yeah, it wasn't
Right,
a
yeah.
one-on-one trainer. It wasn't
okay.
like
You
they
weren't
were
seeing
my
them.
it
coach.
was just
every
a
week.
trainer.
It was yeah.
That's fine. We're not saying
Not your
that
trainer at
trainers-
all.
We're not saying you can't.
Well, I
hook
went
up
to the
with a trainer.
like it was a class trainer, so it was like it wasn't one-on-one. It was
Okay.
like it's
Yeah,
blurred
yeah.
line.
Okay.
That's
But
fine.
yeah, it didn't end well. So
Yeah.
Is this Boston?
I mean, it didn't end bad. It just sometimes they're just fantasies, and you
That's
keep
it.
that way.
That is it.
Don't find love in the fitness club.
Are
Alright.
you guys still friends?
No.
Oh, okay.
Next question, everybody.
When
So see, that's why you don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Went to a workout class hungover and threw up.
Ooh.
So what is, and my question on this is like, are workouts actually good for hangovers? And if so, like, what's your workout hangover routine?
I think it's based on how bad of a hangover we're talking.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, if you're deathly hungover and you're gonna go to a hard fitness class, I don't know if that's the recommendation. Like, if you're bad hungover, maybe that's a long walk.
Yeah.
Maybe it's hydrate for the day and get your body moving.
Yeah.
But if you're like a little bit hungover, I think you can rip it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I would
my
agree with
opinion.
that. But like, don't get to the point where you're making yourself throw up. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
I definitely am not lifting. I'm going to maybe do a
Yeah.
little bit on the treadmill, like a mile if I'm even running, maybe a walk. And then you do the
Little
steam
sweat,
room
yeah.
circuit, like just sweat it out.
Go to
take a
sweat
shower.
house.
I will say a cold plunge will cure your hangover.
Oh, I bet.
I've never had a hangover that could
Could not be.
yeah,
Can't beat
with
the plunge.
No,
Can't
it
beat
just
the plunge.
erases it.
Yeah.
So I would say cold plunge definitely helps.
Are you dunking?
Not my head. Well,
Oh.
maybe. Actually, I don't know. It depends where I am because some of them are gross. If it's a clean one, I'll dunk my head. But sometimes you go in them and they're gross and I break out.
If you don't dunk your head, you didn't cold plunge.
Well, I have
saying that right
now.
Jamie
Well,
doesn't
sweat
dunk
house
her
is
head.
clean, but
Yeah, sweat
Jamie
house.
doesn't dunk her head.
I think that would absolutely cure your hangover if you were
Yeah.
fully dunking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the nice place, but it's not worth then breaking out for the rest.
Do
of
you
the
break
week.
out really?
Yeah, especially
Oh.
when
wow.
it's like chlorine.
Oh, okay.
and stuff
Just
like
sensitive
that. I have
skin.
very
Yeah.
sensitive skin. All right, this one's wild and kind of connects to what we just talked about. It's kind of a combination, but hooked up with a coworker in the sauna of our work gym.
Wow.
That's like a connection of both of the
Yeah,
last
but
questions.
Would you? So my question is like any crazy locker room stories. I only hear them. I get submitted crazy stories about like orgies happening in steam rooms.
Okay.
I've never seen anything wild in a steam room.
Have you?
I stay out of there.
Yeah.
I stay out of there. You know, I'm just there to do my job.
Also, like
yeah.
that's gross.
Locker rooms, like, again, are kind of like that thing that they're fantasized in a way, but like, just like get in there, do your business,
Yeah.
get out.
But like a sauna is like everyone else's sweat is in there too. And
It's
like,
also,
Oh.
yeah, like I don't even want to touch, like you're going to get freaking athlete's foot in a
Right.
place you don't want. It's going to be
what's the
athlete's.
thing you get? Ringworm? Is
Yeah,
that a
yeah,
thing?
there's too much stuff
Oh.
you can get in there
Yeah.
that aren't even venereal diseases.
Ugh.
And then you toss that
Right.
into the ring.
Yeah.
And then you toss that in.
All things considered, no.
Yeah, I'd say like keep that one also a fantasy. All
I
right, so
don't
this next part,
Here's
what we're
one
gonna
easy.
do is I have these whiteboards. This is called Most Likely Culprit. I'm gonna read a scary, and between the three of us, we'll each write down who we think
Oh,
the
wow.
most likely culprit is.
I
So
love
you can
this.
pick a color in a board.
Yeah, sorry, I thought we were gonna get-
I'm picking blue because last time they gave me the last choice, and they take my two favorite colors. I want to be blue this time. So the first one is I saw my workout instructor on a dating app.
Wait, so what am I supposed to write?
Who of the three of us is most likely to have committed that? So like
seeing your workout instructor on a
no,
dating
being the workout instructor.
Instructor on the dating.
Well, it can only be two of you, so. All right, ready?
app. All right,
Flip.
guys.
Is it Darren? Yeah, there you go.
Okay, perfect.
Because I'm the only single. Well, I'm single and you're not a workout instructor. So there you go.
We
I also
singled
was
you
gonna
out
say
with
I'm not
that
even
one.
sure if you're on
Here.
dating apps. Are you?
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
For everyone out there, I am not. But
I got drunk and ate a whole large pizza by myself. Did you say it was me?
yep.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, across the board. At least everything's unanimous.
We are consistent here, everybody.
All right. I made myself a non-alcoholic drink and still managed to get drunk.
I have a story about this one.
Is it all me?
So the
Wow,
answer is
we had
Jamie.
three unanimous.
And she takes electrolyte powder,
I do.
an energy drink, to the bar with her.
I do.
And she makes herself soda water
Mm-hmm.
with an orange
Yeah.
and the electrolyte powder.
I
So,
do.
and she still acts drunk.
No.
All right, she acts.
And everyone
hammered.
thinks I'm drinking.
Everyone thinks
and
she's drunk because she
Sometimes
acts
it's
crazy.
just like the hand to mouth thing, holding something out socially and doing electrolytes
does it.
with soda water. It does it. Yeah.
I drink
exactly.
non-alc beers all the time, and I sometimes I like get behind the wheel
She
after,
gets
and I'm
hammered.
like, I don't think I should be driving. Just don't.
No,
Absolutely
but those
hammered.
actually some have
Sometimes
a little bit. Yeah. So
but
maybe
not any more than a banana. Did you know a banana has more alcohol has a higher alcohol content when it's like a little rotten than a
Oh.
non-alcoholic beer.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
I worked in the beer industry.
Wow. Don't
learned
tell
that
the
on-
alcoholics
Let
that.
mine go rotten. Then. Kidding me?
I got caught taking a thirst trap at the gym.
Didn't even have to erase it.
Really? Wow.
Me and Matt.
I thought myself.
Let's
Okay, who is
go.
it?
The winner is
Oh, yeah.
Jamie.
Yeah,
Although we're not calling them thirst traps because I'm a trainer.
They're
and a
not. Yeah,
fitness-
you can't.
Yeah.
That's true.
it's just your
point.
glute workout.
Yep. 45-minute glutes.
It's called clickbait.
Jamie has a really good glute workout.
I do. If you want to see it,
You should check
it
out her
out.
glute workout.
It's called views, guys. It's called views. All right.
We figured out what works and we use it.
Took pre-workout on an empty stomach and had a panic attack.
Mm.
I put
Is it you?
Jamie, but
What? You put me?
no, I
Oh my
put
God.
I put Jamie just because I don't know. Maybe like you're very into like whole food, like not putting crazy things
Yeah,
in
so
you.
I would
like,
never
if you
take
had-
pre-workout ever.
There you go.
Oh, that was smart.
So like
that was
you'd have
smart.
a panic attack.
In my head, I said I would never take that in general.
But my panic
You're
attack,
right.
my panic attack would be definitely just like I've had way too much caffeine today. So
Yeah.
that was a good
Okay.
guess.
All right.
Yeah.
I didn't want to keep
Just kidding.
self-nominating.
Well, all I thought in my head was who's going to take pre-workout here, and it's not me and Darren.
Correct.
Guilty. All right, I passed out during a hot yoga class. Me? No, I love hot yoga. I did think
Oh,
Darren.
you're going
I
me.
don't- Yeah, I think that you're strong, and I feel like a hot yoga class might challenge
over?
you. Like
You're
I
like,
don't know.
You're a bitch in the yoga room.
Yeah,
Okay.
Have you done a hot yoga?
I've never
class?
seen you
done
do
a couple.
yoga.
I've done a couple. I'm not an avid yogi, as they would call them, but whoever wants me at the yoga class, I want you to hit me up on Instagram. All right. I'll take your class.
Wait, that'll be your next workout. You guys do
Yeah.
together a hot yoga class.
Yeah, we could do that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, last one for the sake of time. Started an OnlyFans, and my mom found it.
Wow, we're really doubling down on
This
him.
doesn't mean I'm gonna do it, but and don't get excited because this is what I get a daily request for an OnlyFans. I'm not gonna do it yet. Rent is not due yet.
Yet.
If you need to pay the
Yeah.
bills, you let them know.
Yeah.
right?
There's nothing
No
wrong
shame.
with OnlyFans.
Yeah, but I don't have one
You also
yet.
don't have to be naked on OnlyFans either.
True, but I wouldn't scam my fans like that. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it big.
Just lean in. Lean in.
Cool. All right. Well, with that, I think that concludes our last segment. We do just have a few things to do. Quickly wanted to mention Scary of the Week. So you guys get to pick this. Each week
Cool.
we elect a scary that is basically either the scariest or your favorite or one that was memorable. And it's totally your guys' call on that one. We
Okay.
had some crazy ones. So some that stood out to me was hooking up with the coworker
Oh, I understand. I see.
in the office sauna.
Got it.
That might be mine.
Yeah, I think all of the likely culprits. Those were real submissions too.
Yeah.
So it could be any of that.
The sauna thing is craziness. Well, I'll take that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm giving my guy doing the presentation.
Okay.
Some
Yeah.
love.
Actually, I like that. I think that they don't always have to be just like the craziest. That's an impressive. I hope that they killed that presentation.
You did.
I hope
Whoever
they're
you are.
resting.
If you made it.
Please reach out. Let us know how that went.
Yeah. So scary of the week. going to the LA to NYC Red Eye Marathon to 9 a.m. corporate presentation on a Monday. You won Scary of the Week. You may not have crushed that presentation, but you crushed it here. So if you enjoyed the show this week, make sure to share it with someone who needs it. Maybe someone that hasn't been in the gym for a second or is just trying to, get a little bit healthier. We're here to help. And if you have any other scary stories you'd like to submit them over to thescarieспod@gmail.com on my weekly Instagram story on Sundays or in the link in my bio. While you're there, give me a follow at the Maddie Rossi. Follow at the Scaries Pod across platforms. You guys want to say your handle so anyone can follow you if they'd like?
My handle is jamie.hines. And then
We are at Battista Bootcamp. I don't even say that is my personal. That's what I use.
Yeah.
At
Who cares
Battista
about
Bootcamp.
Darren
And
Battista anymore?
one gift too
Not about
before we
Darren Battista,
completely wrap. I always give my fans a gift.
Oh.
What is
I
that?
hate horses, but I did find this and I wanted to give it to you guys. It's 2 horses, and I feel like it's.
Did it come from this old antique shop?
It did.
No way,
Yeah,
did
'cause
it?
this was
Oh
an
my god,
antique
that's
shop.
amazing.
So that's like you and Jamie. I was like the two
This is me
horsemen,
and Jamie.
This is me.
Horsepower.
horsewomen
This is me.
of
Horsepower.
Batista Boot Camp.
All
So
right. Yep, she's bigger, better, everything.
Sure
we
am.
get it.
Mhm.
yeah. So all the gifts
Batista
have
Boot Camp.
varying levels of value and significance.
I love that.
So
That's
you get
amazing.
to assign it
It's very
to
exciting.
yourself. So with that, we'll wrap for the week. Thank you guys for coming on. And
Yeah, thank
all
you.
those
That
listening.
was fun.
Hope you have a great week and go make some more scaries.
Go get it, guys.
I think he farted.
Did he fart? So he does fart.
Kirkland's farting on Jamie.
Kirkland
So that's good.
has gas.
That's okay. I don't mind.
Can't fart on the gas.
No. I'm totally fine. Kirkland, you're good.
Stay right there.
So the
I just
first-
wanted you guys to know that it wasn't me.
No.
Okay.
Sure.
All right,
I'm
next.
glad we started with that.
Yeah.
So